Hi everybody. I'm sorry today. I tried for to make my live, but I couldn't. So I'm uploading finally this video because it's 2 hours. I'm trying. Well, this is not live, but I will not edit the video, so you will hear the cats. You will hear probably many things going on. And yeah, oh, I have my tarot here because I'm receiving a lot of messages, also private messages from people worried about what is going on, and so I decided to take a look at my Arcana. This is the deck I created, and as I already told you, I use the tarot in a very peculiar way. It's not like fortune telling, it's like a mirror of the self. Can be myself, someone else's self, or the collective self. In this case, because of many worries around, this is for the collective self, so it's something that can interest can be of interest of everybody. Okay, of course yeah, of course, like, let's say it's about I think you already guess that it's about the virus spreading in this moment. So yeah, I took some cards, and I'm not going to tell you how and when I took the cards. Yeah, I took the cards. Oh, Greta, of course. Yeah, sure. Sorry. I took the Greta, stay there, please. I took some cards, and this card, it's more like a lesson. This lesson than a reading, but anyway, doesn't matter. No, Greta, the camera, please. Can't stay here. Hopefully. So this is the Chariot. Okay, the Chariot usually is represented as the driver on a chariot. Yeah. And riding two horses. One horse is white and one is black, or two sphinx. Anyway, it's like two creatures representing the opposites, and the rider must keep them straight to the point. So again, if the camera is dancing, it's because of Greta. Okay. So this card, I called a card. I thought, before to pick this card, I thought to what is supporting us in this moment. Okay, so this was my question, to show me what is supporting us in this moment, and I picked this card. So the Chariot represents our ability to bring together our inner voices. You know, those voices, different voices. And in this moment, a moment like this, maybe there is a voice saying, "Oh, everything will be okay. Someone is just exaggerating," and maybe another voice saying, "It's going to be the end of the world," and maybe a voice saying, "I will do my things and I will pretend nothing happened around, so I will go as usual in downtown," and this, and another voice saying, "Maybe I have just to shut everything and stay home." So the Chariot represents the ability to make all those parts of our self, our ego, work together for a common good, for a common goal. In this case, the common goal could be our health, the protection for ourselves and our beloved ones. Maybe you You can decide, you can find what's important for you in this moment. But the most important thing is that when you feel something inside, like a conflict, you have just to decide what is your goal and then walk there. If you already saw my previous videos, I already told you that we are designed this way. Our eyes and feet are aligned, so we go where we point our gaze. So when we point at the goal, it's much easier to bring ourselves, our different part of ourselves, and in the same direction. Okay, so this is what is supporting us. And then I asked a card for the warning. What is the warning now? So justice. Justice is not just the law and order. Justice is about the protection of our space, our sacred space. So this is really interesting because it's also connected to our immune responses and to the gestation of something new. If we want to protect a life, we have to create this protected environment, right? So the warning now is about maybe challenging a balance and equilibrium, because it's a warning. So we have to be prepared to be challenged in our spaces, in what we perceive that is our habits, maybe all those things that make us feel in a balance, or that everything is doing well. Sorry, my cat. Greta, my assistant. Well, today in the morning I had another assistant. Her sister was Minnie. Now it's Greta. Okay. So the most important thing now is really to be able to challenge some habits and protect something else, something even more sacred. Okay, and this is the advice. I already introduced this card, right? So again, this card is really always coming in these days. It's death, and it's like the advice, in the position of the advice here. And again, death in tarot is transformation, so it's an invitation. When we have to challenge some habits, usually it's because we have to find something new. And maybe this invitation today is really addressed to our our fears also, or habits. You know, it's easy to walk for on the same path forever. We already know it. One of the other meaning of the chariot is also the ability to step out of our comfort zone. So these three cards together are telling me that it's the right time to challenge some habits and start. Sorry. Of course, my husband wants to call right now, so I'm just tell him, please, later. It's like, yeah, it's like life. It's life. It's called life, right? So all these three cards together, they mean that probably is really a good moment to challenge some habits, to discover something else, and go out of our comfort zone. But this is really for a higher purpose. It's really for something important now. You have to set your goal. You know, it's not me telling you what is your goal, but of course in this moment, I would suggest to think bigger, to a bigger picture, and not just only for yourself, because those cards are strong. And the good news, there is always a good news. Oh well, or we can think that there are just news. It's our interpretation. But I know also that in some part of the world, there are people losing beloved ones. Okay, so let's think that maybe this is really a good opportunity to find new resources. This is strength. Strength usually is a woman taming or containing a lion. Well, this card represents really our ability to find new resources even in the most challenging moment. And it's also an invitation, like the direction. This card, I picked this card thinking of the destination, where we are headed, where we are really going now. So if we can use our ability to do something different than what we are used to do, something for a bigger purpose, this is a very precious moment given to find new resources and also experience something new about our creativity. So it's an invitation to look at ourselves, look inside. Well, that means also that it's a little bit like the winter, you know. There is also spring around already. For many of us, there is sun outside. It's beautiful to go outside for a walk. We can do it, but wisely, because this card really is an invitation, strong invitation to change our patterns. As I already told you, we cannot just abandon a habit if we don't create something else to replace it, at least in the beginning. So let's be creative and find something new, something that can be helpful for our health in this moment. Maybe you can, if you are staying home to protect yourself and other people around you, you can explore your talents and skills, and maybe you can learn something new. It's there are so many online courses about everything. You can take training online also in order to keep yourself healthy, because I know that is challenging to stay inside maybe days, maybe more. So act wisely and use this moment as a precious opportunity to find new resources and creative resources in yourself. Maybe you can write, maybe you can paint, dance, sing, with the permission of your neighbor. So be always respectful. But I'm sure that with this card, that means really the ability to express our talents with success, resources, and the ability to tame our ego. Tame our ego means that, well, in challenging moments, we could feel more angry than usual or more sad than usual, and the ability to look at our emotions, look at our mood, and remember that we can choose our attitude. We can, of course, we can acknowledge our feelings and our emotions, and then we can turn our attention towards something helping us act in order to improve our mood, our health, our relationships. We have about social interactions. We are fortunate, we are lucky, because we have Skype, we have Messenger, we have FaceTime, we have, you know. My husband is far away. He will be quarantined when he will be back. But anyway, we have so many tools to stay in touch. The final card, the synthesis, is the moon. And this is another nice suggestion, because the moon in the tarot, all the arcana, they have so many meanings. But the moon represents, I don't remember the word. The word, when you know, when, like skin shedding, something like this, a transition, but it's not such a clear transition. It's a transition. It's like you start walking, you see the end of your path because of the horizon, but you don't see what's there beyond the horizon. So you have just to trust and start walking that path. But the most important thing, it is also remember that, well, this is more about the letter, the Hebrew letter connected to this card, that means harpoon. It's like an arrow. It's a big arrow, and this arrow, I don't know if you saw that movie, The Walk, about Philippe Petit, the White Walker, who crossed the space between the twin towers. The movie shows clearly how to put the cable, the wire in between the towers, to find a way. They had to launch an arrow before. This card, it's exactly that. With our imagination, we have to project our will there, where we want to go, toward the goal we want to achieve. Because that arrow, that rope, that string is a subtle string, but it will be the leader for the big wire. And I know that the choice of word is not optimal, but as an Italian, sorry, this is my vocabulary. So anyway, it's like creating an image. I told you, our eyes and feet are exactly oriented the same way. So where we look, we go. So if we project our imagination toward the clear goal, even if we don't see it, because we don't see it, but we can imagine it, and then all our resources, inner resources, will orient ourselves really toward the desired destination. I think everybody is familiar with the law of attraction. This is what I call the law of orientation, because it's really, this is the way our body is built, is wired, okay? You know, of course, I'm in this world of symbols, arcana symbols, tarot, astrology, spirituality, but I have also a scientific background, so I love to bring everything on this material level, because we live here, so we have to take practical steps. And if we can create practical images, like metaphors, using metaphors and this and that, it's easier. So I think for everybody, there is a desired goal to achieve, a desired state, starting from yourself. So be responsible of your steps. But if you are ready if you are able to project your intention, your imagination toward the goal that you want to achieve in this moment, and maybe this goal could be health related, well-being related, your personal health and the health of the people around you. So if this is your goal, then it will be easier. Once you project your intention there, it will be easier to find the steps to realize it. And the moon means also transition. So this is not a permanent state. There is nothing permanent. Everything is impermanent. Everything is work in progress. And so the more we can look beyond the horizon, the more we can imagine in a constructive way what we want to achieve, and the more will be easy also to remember that it's only a matter of weeks, and the more we act responsibly in these few weeks, and the more our goal will come towards us, the more we will be aware, and we keep our awareness to through steps, through clear steps. We exert, we improve in this, and the easier will be to see a better world. Because I think, for my interpretation, when I look especially at this card, I think that we can really find something new and something precious also in this experience. It's our choice. We can choose the attitude, our attitude. We can't change other things, but for sure we can change our attitude and choose an attitude that gives us constructive and desired results. Thank you, and see you again